For every Tesla model that owners would buy 3 times over, there is one they wish they had never touched. Starting with the Tesla Cybertruck, which I personally think is the biggest engineering embarrassment Tesla has ever released. Back in 2019, Elon Musk walked on stage and promised a 500-mile stainless steel truck starting at $39,900. Then he had his designer throw a steel ball at the window to prove it was bulletproof. The glass shattered on live television, and somehow that was just the beginning. When the Cybertruck finally shipped in late 2023, almost nothing matched the original promise. Range dropped to 250 miles on the base model. The starting price nearly doubled to $60,990. And then the recalls started, 8 of them in 18 months. The worst one is almost hard to believe. Tesla filed a federal recall because a factory worker applied soap to help slide the accelerator pedal pad into place. That soap made the pad slide forward during driving and wedge under the dashboard trim, holding the throttle wide open. Every single Cybertruck built up to that point got recalled for it. But that is not even the part that gets me fired up. The stainless steel body that was supposed to be tough enough for an apocalypse started showing orange rust spots within 11 days on some trucks. Owners posted photos of corrosion after 381 miles in California rain. Tesla's own delivery advisors were actually warning buyers at pickup that Cybertrucks develop rust marks in the rain. And the fix is a $6,000 wrap. I had somebody in the comments last month ask me if the Cybertruck is worth buying used. I told them to go look at a subreddit called Cyberstuck with over 100,000 members that exists just to post Cybertruck fails. That should answer the question. But while the Cybertruck was busy collecting recalls and rust spots, one Tesla model was quietly becoming the most loved electric vehicle ever made. The 2019 to 2021 Tesla Model 3 is, in my opinion, the single best car Tesla has ever built. And the data backs that up completely. J.D. Power just ranked the Model 3 #1 out of every electric vehicle in their 2026 satisfaction study. I'm not surprised, because Bloomberg found that 98% of Model 3 owners would buy it again. I have been doing this for 20 years, and I do not know any car from any brand that pulls those numbers. What made this generation special was the 2021 refresh. Tesla added a heat pump that was 300% more efficient than the old heater system. They put in double pane acoustic glass up front. They ditched that disgusting glossy piano black center console for a matte finish. And they kept the stocks, real physical stocks that you grab and click. That matters, and I will explain why in a minute. A Canadian owner ran his 2019 Model 3 to 380,000 miles on the original battery pack. Range dropped from 240 to 158 miles, but the pack never needed replacing. The only repair in all those miles was an O-ring on a tailgate strut. Name me one gas car that can do that. If you are shopping used Teslas, the 2021 Model 3 long range with the Panasonic battery pack is the one I point people toward. It charges faster on superchargers, it holds range better long term, and you can still get the used EV tax credit on it. That is the sweet spot. Now, you would think Tesla would take everything they learned from the Model 3 and build something just as reliable but bigger. And with the Model X, they did the exact opposite. The Tesla Model X has been rated the least reliable Tesla by Consumer Reports every single year they have tracked it. Not once, not twice, every year. The 2021 model year alone had 23 recalls tied to it, and the resale value tells the whole story. After 5 years, the Model X loses 63.4% of its value. On a $95,000 vehicle, That is over $61,000 gone. The Falcon wing doors are the root of most of the pain. I have personally seen them smash into garage ceilings because the sensors lost their calibration. I have seen the lower latch actuators fail and leave families standing in a parking lot unable to close their doors. One repair for a single Falcon wing door runs anywhere from $2,000 to $5,000 depending on whether paintwork is involved. Tesla quietly redesigned the entire lower door mechanism for the 2021 model year, which tells you everything about how bad the original design was. But the doors are not even the most expensive problem on these cars. The HVAC system on the 2016 to 2018 cars is where it really hurts. I read a forum post from an owner of a 2016 Model X who paid $1,850 for an AC replacement. 5 months and 5,000 miles later, the AC blew hot again. Tesla comped the part, but charged $1,300 for labor, refrigerant, and leak diagnosis. $3,100 total in 5 months for air conditioning. That is a money pit with Falcon wing doors. But while the Model X was busy being the most expensive headache in the Tesla lineup, the Model Y was proving that simple engineering wins every time. In 2023, the Tesla Model Y became the best-selling vehicle on the entire planet. Not the best-selling electric vehicle, the best-selling vehicle, period. 1.23 million units. It outsold the Toyota RAV4 and the Corolla. It was the first electric vehicle in history to do that. And in 2025, the Model Y accounted for nearly 40% of every electric vehicle sold in the United States. Consumer Reports rates the Model Y well above average for reliability, which made it the only Tesla to get that rating. The reason is simple. It does not have Falcon wing doors, it skips the air suspension on base trims, and it does not bother with overcomplicated power folding mirrors. Tesla kept it simple, and owners love it for that, and that is exactly why I keep recommending it. I get more questions about the Model Y in my comments than any other Tesla model, and my answer is always the same. The Model Y is Tesla's Camry. It is not glamorous, it is not going to turn heads in a parking lot, but it works, it holds up, and it does what you bought it to do without draining your bank account at the service center. The 2025 Juniper refresh made it even better. Tesla brought back the turn signal stalk, which is basically them admitting the buttons on the steering wheel were a mistake. They added acoustic glass on every window, ventilated front seats, and better aerodynamics. If you are buying a new Tesla today, this is the one. Speaking of mistakes, Tesla admitted to, let me tell you about a car they have been promising for 9 years and still have not built. The next generation Tesla Roadster was announced in November of 2017 with specs that sounded like science fiction. 0 to 60 in 1.9 seconds, 620 miles of range, a $200,000 base price with a Founders Series at $250,000. People lined up and handed Tesla their money. The Founders Series required the entire $250,000 up front, but Tesla spent that money. Then the delays started. It was supposed to ship in 2020, then 2021, then 2022. Every year after that, same story, same broken promise. Musk just kept pushing it. He scheduled the reveal for April 1st of 2026 and actually said he picked that date so he could claim he was just kidding. Then on the earnings call days later, he pushed it again and said maybe in a month or so. Sam Altman posted a screenshot of his $45,000 deposit refund request from 2018. The Tesla email address he was told to contact bounced as undeliverable. Marques Brownlee tried to cancel, and Tesla initially kept $5,000 of his $50,000 deposit until he complained publicly. One founder's buyer on the Tesla Motors Club forum said he paid $250,000 over 6 years ago and has literally never heard from Tesla, not even by email. If you put down a deposit on the next generation Roadster and you are still waiting, you got played. 9 years, 0 production cars shown, and Tesla is keeping your money. That is basically an interest-free loan. But here is the thing, Tesla already made a Roadster that earned every bit of love the new one is coasting on. The original 2008 Tesla Roadster is the car that proved electric vehicles could be fast, fun, and desirable. Only about 2,450 were ever built at the Lotus factory in Hethel, England, on a modified Elise chassis. The car nearly bankrupted Tesla. Final production cost ballooned to $140,000 against a planned $80,000. And Musk personally covered payroll in late 2008 to keep the lights on. But owners fell in love with it, and the collector market proves it. Haggerty data shows the average Roadster price doubled from about $69,000 in 2020 to $127,000 by 2022. VIN number 13, with under 900 miles, sold for $295,000. And of course, Elon launched his personal cherry red Roadster into space on the Falcon Heavy rocket in February of 2018. It is currently orbiting the sun with a mannequin named Starman behind the steering wheel. It is probably the most famous used car in history, and it is never coming back for service. If you have been watching this far and find this useful, go ahead and hit subscribe so you do not miss the next one. Now, I saved this last pair for the end because it is the most interesting contrast in the entire Tesla lineup. A car that started as a disaster and one that redeemed the whole platform. The 2012 to 2014 Tesla Model S was a gorgeous car with serious problems under the skin. Edmunds ran a long-term test on a 2013 Model S, and it needed 4 drive units replaced in 30,000 miles. Another owner needed 5 replacements in 12,000 miles. Musk later admitted Tesla had been swapping entire $15,000 drive units, when the actual fix was a 50-cent shim. The door handles on these cars are legendary for all the wrong reasons. The pop-out handles have a small metal gear inside that cracks and breaks. Owners sued Tesla in 2022, covering the 2014 to 2016 cars. One owner was quoted $3,400 to fix all 4 doors. In 2019, Tesla pushed a software update that cut the battery range on older Model S packs after a garage fire in Shanghai. Owners lost up to 20% of their rated range overnight. They each got $625 in a settlement for losing 50 miles of range on a car you paid over $80,000 for. But then came the Model S Plaid, and Tesla reminded everyone what happens when they actually get it right. The Model S Plaid does 0 to 60 in 1.99 seconds. That alone would be enough to make the list, but it also runs the quarter mile in 9.23 seconds at 155 miles per hour. And one tuned Plaid with a completely stock battery and motors ran an 8.59 at 162 miles per hour. Nothing with a factory battery has ever gone faster. It set the EV lap record at the Nürburgring at 7 minutes and 25 seconds, and the record car used a round steering wheel, not the yoke. That detail matters because Tesla shipped the Plaid with a mandatory yoke that owners immediately hated, and it took them 2 years to offer a round option. I personally think the Plaid is one of the best performance cars ever built, gas or electric. The fact that you can buy one for under $70,000 right now, when it embarrasses cars costing 10 times that at the drag strip, is kind of absurd. The Lucid Air Sapphire eventually beat it in the quarter mile, but the Plaid was the car that proved sedans could compete with supercars for a fraction of the price. And that is the real story of Tesla's lineup. The models owners love are the ones Tesla left alone long enough to mature. The Model 3 got better every year because Tesla focused on small refinements instead of wild experiments. The Model Y works because it skipped the gimmicks. The original Roadster is a collector piece because it was simple and honest. The model's owners hate are the ones Elon could not stop tinkering with. Rushed launches, overcomplicated designs, and promises that never turned into cars. That is what happens when hype runs ahead of engineering. Now, if you think you already know your Tesla inside and out, go watch our video on 5 Tesla features you are using completely wrong. I guarantee at least one of those is going to change how you drive every day.